Hey, you're about to listen to Richie's Talk Zone, a podcast where we talk about everything basically about life and its happenings. I'm your anchor, Richie. Do stay tuned. Hello to you, beautiful and handsome listener. Thank you for joining me yet again on another episode of Richie's Talk Zone. I appreciate you so much. Last week we spoke about character, the boast of legends, and I promised you guys I'll be doing a continuation from where I dropped off. So quickly, let's delve into the matter. Character. Yes, character is who you are. You can do or be somebody else for a little while. You may do things that make you appear to be somebody else for a little while, but eventually you will do you. Yes, you will do you. You will do who you really are. Character is who you are when nobody is watching. Reputation, that's a public thing. It's what people see on the outside. That's what people perceive of you. That's what we call reputation. It's not your character. That may or may not be who you really are. That's reputation. People paint a different picture of who they actually are. People of repute. You see them, oh, this man is a lovely man, this woman is a lovely woman. But you don't know what's inside them. Their true character is hidden. Reputation is just on the outside, but character is something from within you. Your talent is a gift, but character is a choice. Note that down. Talent is a gift, but character is a choice. Everybody may not have talent at the same level, but everybody can have character at the same level. In the last episode, I spoke of charisma. Charisma is derived from a Greek word meaning the ability to elicit favor from other people. Charisma is like a magic wand that confers power to others. But character has a totally different origin that comes from a Greek word meaning chisel, or the mark left by a chisel. We all know what a chisel is. A chisel, as we know, is a sharp tool used for making sculpture out of a hard or difficult material. It is also used for stripping away waste material from an object. Yes, stripping away things that might get in the way in order to reach the essential thing, the thing that really matters. So you can sense where I'm going when I'm talking about character. That's why the origin of character comes from chisel. So we chisel off all those impurities, all those obstructions, and we bring out what truly matters. That is what character is all about. You've got to chisel your character out of the raw material, out of the raw state. Chisel your character out of the raw material of yourself, just like a sculptor has to create a statue. So when a sculptor wants to create a statue, he or she uses a chisel where he or she removes all those places that are not important in order to come to the finished product, which is beautiful, which can be appreciated when looked at. Everything that happens to you, good or bad, is an opportunity for you to build your character. Character sustains and nurtures itself even as it's being put to work and tested and challenged. Character is what allows you to get where you want to go. So if you're thinking about heading somewhere in life, you need to have character. Character is the fuel that drives your car of success or your car of achievement. If you don't have character, same as if you don't have fuel in your car, When you start it, it's going nowhere. You can't move without fuel being in your car. So you need character in order to get you to where you want to be. Character is what's left after charisma is gone. Yes. Character is what's left after charisma is gone. Charisma is what people see on the outside, your talent, your gifts, and whatnot. But what if that thing suddenly disappears one day? What will you be left with? Character. If you don't have character, when all those things evaporate or when all those things leave you, you will have nothing to write home about. You will have nothing to actually boast of. But when all those things disappear, the only thing that should remain should be your character. Alexander the Great, he was undoubtedly the most charismatic leader that ever lived. But he only lived to the age of 33. He personally led his army into one battle after the other. He believed himself to be a god. Yes, if you've heard of Alexander the Great, after this podcast, you can do a Google and search about Alexander the Great. You could see some things about him. Yes, he saw himself to be a god, and that all the wars that he has been partaking in is a conquest that demonstrates his divine power to the rest of the world. When he died, that's Alexander the Great, when he died in the ancient city of Babylon, his body was transported to Egypt in a golden hearse. For you to see the kind of person he is, he had that reputation. So when he died, they needed to transport him in an eloquent manner. He was transported to Egypt in a golden hearse, drawn by scores of horses, yet no one worships Alexander today. Yes. No one is impressed by all the cities he named after himself, or the city he named after his horse, or by the palace he built and filled with huge pieces of furniture so that people would think he was a giant. No, nobody remembers him today. In fact, his influence started to evaporate soon after his death. The remains of his empire were fought over by his generals, and new conquerors took over his place. 300 years later, Jesus Christ started to preach. I'm painting you guys a picture about two monumental people in history. Two different people. What sets them apart? One had charisma, one had character. So follow as I paint that picture to you. So 300 years later, Jesus Christ started to preach. Instead of an army, he had 12 men. He never owned a horse. Others tried to say he was a god, but he never said so himself. He never founded a city, and when he died, there was no golden hearse. Yet the force of his character has endured and grown, whilst the most charismatic leader that ever lived is of little interest to anyone except historians today. So guys, that's simple. That being said, this goes to show the importance of your character. Don't tell me you're charismatic. I don't want to hear about your gifts or whatever your talents are. If you lack character, you will soon be forgotten. You will be forgotten in a hurry. Yes. After all the great things he achieved, I'm using Alexander the Great as an example so you can have a mental picture of how important you having character needs to be. Alexander the Great had all those things, had amassed all the wealth he had people, had armies, but I'm only telling you about Alexander the Great for you to see the two parts of the scenario about Jesus and Alexander the Great. If I hadn't mentioned Alexander the Great here in my podcast, I believe most of you wouldn't have even bothered to Google it up, or some of you might not even know who Alexander the Great is. That is it. But everyone still acknowledges Jesus Christ. Because of what? Character. Because of C. Because of H. Because of A. Because of R. Because of A. Because of C. Because of T. Because of E. Because of R. Because of character. You need to work on your character. You need to build your character. Forget about everything else. Forget about all the skills that you wish to acquire. Yes, it's fine for you to acquire all those skills, but you need to add character to that skill that you possess so that you will be a complete package. You will be a complete package, yes. Fully boxed. When you are unwrapped, the outside is beautiful, exterior is beautiful. Then when they unbox you, the interior is also beautiful. People can see through you. People can see that, yes, this is a man of character. Yes, this is a woman of character. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. My word, or what you should pick from today's podcast, is that character, we are not born with character. No one was born with character, but it's a decision one needs to make to ensure he or she possesses character. It's a decision. It's a choice you need to make. No one is going to make that choice for you. You need to make that choice of developing your character. And when you do so, you will find out that your life will continually scale up. And you will have less problems. That being said, thank you so much for listening to me. I've seen most of your comments. I've read so many of your comments. Thank you guys for the review. I appreciate you so much. You guys are the reason why I'm here, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. I will continually give you the content you need to be able to improve upon yourself, to be productive, to have an improved and a long-lasting life of fulfillment. I am still your anchor, Richie. Do have a nice day. Peace out.